Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hello and welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie Cation here. It is November or December, which means please do not donate to the Dork Forest this month. Direct donations should go to your local food bank. To do that, you would Google the words food bank and then the name of your town, and then one will show up. And then you will send them the $10 or the $100 or the gajillion dollars that you would have sent to me, Jackie Cation, to a food bank in your neighborhood. Anyway, let's do the credits. Mike Rickberg composed and sang that song you just heard. He's going to sing his words to the Mexican hat dance at the end of the program. Patrick Brady's going to fix this audio, and Vilmos works on my website, JackieCation.com. The DorkForest.com has all the notes, the link to the YouTube version of the show, which is just the show is available on iTunes, and there's a player on DorkForest.com, but there's also a YouTube version of it if you can't listen to iTunes for some reason at work, but you can listen to YouTube, so knock yourself out. JackieCation.com has all the rest of it. If you want to support the show by buying Christmas gifts, or Hanukkah gifts, or Kwanzaa gifts, go to the merch page, knock yourself out. All the t-shirts, there's Ranger of the Dork Forest t-shirts, there's Spooky Reading Girl, there is Meat Shield t-shirts. The Meat Shield t-shirts remain a charitable t-shirt that go to the ACLU, Black Lives Matter, and Southern Law Poverty Center. You can do that. There are also pins, Spooky Reading Girl and Meat Shield pins. Those are not yet available on the website because I haven't gotten it together. But email me, Jackie@JackieCation.com, and we'll figure it out. There is my calendar, which is available. You can see where I'm playing stand-up comedy-wise, and I'm on the road a bunch in December this year, so feel free to come out and see me do stand-up comedy live. There are videos. You can watch me do stand-up comedy. You can see a clip of my DVD, This Will Make an Excellent Horcrux, which is available streaming or as a hard copy on the merch page as well. There is the Amazon banner. If you're going to order from Amazon, you can use the Amazon banner on DorkForest.com or JackieCation.com. It's just a portal, sends you to Amazon, you order like normal, and it supports the Dork Forest. There are premium episodes on Bandcamp. So it'd be thedorkforest.bandcamp.com, and they are probably a dozen episodes that are live. They cost me a couple of bucks to make, so I charge you a couple of bucks. There's also some free episodes and a storytelling album on that Bandcamp page. Help yourself. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Feel free to review it on iTunes if you like, or email me if you have any questions or problems, Jackie@JackieCation.com. Let's get into the show. Hey, it's Jackie Cation in the living room with Alice Wetterlund.
Hello.
Hello. I'm a fan of your stand-up comedy.
I'm a fan of your stand-up comedy.
What? Mutual fandom.
Love fest.
Mm-hmm. Alice Wetterlund, by the way, is at Alice Wetterlund on the Instagram and Twitter when you get back in your Instagram. It is AliceWetterlund. And you do stand-up comedy, so people should go to those places and find out where you're doing stand-up comedy.
I will inevitably tweet about a show if I have one coming up, and I'll tweet about it 2 hours ahead of time.
Right.
In your city.
In your city, so
I just only want losers at my shows. People have nothing else going on. That are just like at home. Like,
no, I'm willing to drop everything.
Yeah.
I'm willing to drop everything and see Alice Wetterlund. And so, but you probably have tour dates on your website?
I do have tour dates normally on my website, but I have no tour dates coming up.
Right.
Because the holidays are coming up, and then after that, I have nothing booked, and I've realized that is partially because I'm on a TV show, but partially totally my fault.
Partially on you.
Partially on you.
Right. And then
we didn't know when I'm on a show called Resident Alien, we shot the pilot, and I thought it would be shooting in February, the actual show.
Yeah.
They're not. It's shooting in June. So from February to June, I have nothing.
And yet you are open.
Yeah, I am
open. So know that.
So
American
know that.
World public. Matter
Just
of fact,
know clubs are going to be getting some real pestering from me.
Pestering?
I'll be dropping through. So.
I just got this vibe from a club owner I know and love. He was telling me, he said, what I don't like is people are only willing to work Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, instead of my Tuesday through Saturday, Wednesday through Sunday, Thursday through Sunday. They're like, no, I'm too good to work those first couple of days or that last day. And I was like, that's not the comic, that's the agent. And so also they're like, and he said, and they want bonuses if they sell out. But I sell out. I always sell out.
Yeah.
if they can do it in June, if they can sell me out in June, they can have all the bonuses. And I was like, okay.
What about if maybe I could do those I'd like to do just a Monday, Tuesday.
Right. Like,
I wouldn't fly
Bamford.
somewhere for a Monday, Tuesday, but if I'm doing a drive, it'd be really cool to do like Salt Lake City Monday, Tuesday, and then another date. Here's the thing.
Right.
But if I was involved in booking my own stuff, I could probably do that. But
yeah. But you aren't.
Too lazy.
And if you got people.
Dates and times, I don't.
Right. You need someone to tell you.
It's really tough. I just, Veterans Day took me out. Like I was like, I had 3 meetings on Veterans, and not meetings, but like one appointment in Beverly Hills. I had to go to my psychiatrist. I had
so you had personal
some
stuff
other thing,
and a work thing?
And a work thing. 3 things all on Monday. I had scheduled them just at home sleeping. Just at home.
Oh, slept it out.
Well, I just, I was like, I got to do laundry. I'm doing all this stuff because I have a free Monday.
Yeah.
And everybody's calling me going, where are you?
Right.
And for some reason, I didn't look at my schedule. So each time one happened, I'd be like, oh, crap, I thought that was today. And then by the third thing, I was like, I just did everything wrong today.
Right. This is a failure of a Monday.
I'm really bad with dates.
I have been there. It is hard to look at. I blame it somewhat on the fact that I now have an electronic calendar and not a paper calendar.
Yeah.
Because paper calendar, I just open it up and go.
It's visual in a different way.
Yeah. So it.
Physical.
And so I tried to do both, but that actually is double the
Maybe
work.
Worse. Yeah.
Because I don't update the paper one as much because I update the electronic one on the fly.
One time I was online and I was like looking at why Google Calendars, I don't think they do this anymore, schedules your events. Like if I'm in Milwaukee and I set up a date for New York, it changes the time. Like I couldn't figure it out. Like I was
Did you figure it out?
Well, I think it doesn't do it the same now. It just says like you can use a time zone or not or something like that.
Well, I would like if I'm booking something that's here, but I'm in the Midwest, it'll set the wrong time.
Yeah.
So then I go
like,
into
no
it,
matter what you do.
No matter what you do, because I've gone in and I've gone, no, it's going to be Pacific time.
Yeah.
And they've done it anyway.
Yeah, it's really weird. And so I was online researching about that, and somebody in the Google forum was like, time zones are they're the patriarchal bullshit system. They had like a long screed about why time zones were ruining America and the
our
world
lives.
and our lives. And it was like, this person went in hard, and I was a little bit like, I'm kind of on your side. So
Well,
anyway.
just a little bit. Here we are, minute 5.
Okay, I got to get in here.
We got to get into your
with my
dorkdom.
I was thinking about that on the way here. I was like, wow, I'm so pumped. I never get to talk about this. And I can't believe nobody's done this yet.
Nobody's done this.
That's crazy.
Here we are.
You've been doing this for so long.
It's true.
I hammer it in too much. It's been so long, Jackie. I'm just kidding. Okay.
Yeah, I got the ground floor of podcasting. Let's talk sharks, Alice Wetterlund. Sharks.
So,
what do I know about sharks?
Yeah.
Very little. They can't swim backwards. That's
Okay.
what I know.
yeah, but who can? Who's swimming backwards? You know what I mean?
Oh my God!
Right?
That is an excellent point. Are there
Martin
fish
can
that
even do it?
Kilmartin? She might be. She might be.
Well, and what's the point?
Well, you could moonwalk. You could back slowly for
I like
emphasis.
the scientist who was like, "But can they swim backwards?" And all the other scientists were like, "Probably not. Why would they?"
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay, so but that's it. That's all I know. What do you know about sharks?
Okay, do you know they have 6 senses?
No. What is? Wait,
Okay,
I know.
you're like really ground level about sharks. Okay,
yeah.
so because a lot of people know
We
the,
might as well
the
be talking to
minimum,
me about
you
Beyonce.
know, there's like shark knowledge, which is just like general shark knowledge, which is like they're gray, and they eat.
Oh,
things.
right. Oh,
And
wait,
then
yeah,
there's
they're bitey and
Wow,
they're gray.
okay, yeah. So you're
and
just
that's what I've got.
preschool
Right,
knowledge.
right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's the second level, which is that they have 6 senses. One of them is an electric sense. So they have,
Wait,
sight.
they can see.
They have sight,
Touch.
smell, touch, hearing, taste, and then they also have a 6th sense, which is that their bodies have like an electrical they have sensitivity to electrical currents.
Okay.
So they can sense the difference in pressure and water pressure when it rises and lowers. And they can also sense electromagnetic currents in the water, which are created by struggling fish.
Oh.
And that's another...
it's a hunting thing.
It's another thing. Well, sharks, the kinds of sharks that I like are apex predators, which means that they're at the top of the food chain. The absolute tippity top. Nobody above them.
Above us.
Yes, above everybody.
Well, do they
They're not
farm?
at the top of lions.
They don't farm. But in the water.
But in the water, which is a whole different thing.
That is a whole different thing. So, what? Well, you've definitely drawn me in with sharks that I like. What are the sharks that you like?
Well, I mean...
What's a favorite shark?
There's like 500 species of shark.
Okay.
And they're very diverse.
Okay.
So people think sharks and they think like giant man-eating. And then there's those, but those are a really small portion of the shark population. Sharks have evolved to like kind of on their own, like the way that we've bred dogs into like a million different kinds of dogs. Yeah. Sharks did that on their own.
Oh, wow.
So there's nurse sharks, there's sand sharks, there's dolphin sharks, there's, whale sharks, which are huge, giant sharks that like
I've swam with whale sharks.
Yeah. They don't eat giant things.
They don't. They're not. You're allowed to swim with them.
Yeah.
Sand sharks I've seen.
Yeah.
And I've swam away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine to do too.
Those are the two sharks I've had.
Swim away behind them, you're even better because they can't swim backwards after you.
And they don't have rear view mirrors either.
They sure don't.
Yeah, what scientist is like, they can't swim backwards and they don't have rear view mirrors?
Yeah.
Like, they're not a vehicle, sir.
You're not a scientist anymore, okay?
I fucking love that. What can? Yes. Oh my God, what can?
So what's fascinating to me is the way people perceive sharks and why they're so sort of vilified in our society, because they're these strange man-eaters. Like with a lion or a bear, we have like cute versions of those things.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we are like, yeah, they're dangerous and you want to go near them, but like we also sort of make them into mascots in a way. And they're fuzzy. And we like stuff that's fuzzy. But sharks are not fuzzy. They're basically bullets underwater that just eat things.
Right.
And we see that and we go, no, that's not, nothing to like about that.
Right.
So it's bad.
Right.
And it's not bad. They're not bad. Like sharks have their own set of values, I think,
Oh, all right.
Like, because they're so intelligent, they're so smart, and they're so fucking old.
Are they old?
Millions and millions and millions of years old. Yeah. Like,
Okay.
Our common ancestor with sharks is like this jaw-having fish from prehistoric ages. And so they've been around since basically dinosaurs.
Right.
And they stayed alive. They've been through 5 mass extinctions on Earth.
Really?
Yeah, and they just do not die. So their evolution path has evolved through 5 mass extinctions. So that means that they've evolved these super weird, super like specific traits that no other species on Earth has because they're so old. So like one of the things about them that's interesting is the way that different species reproduce is really different. So some species of sharks, whale sharks, for instance, can save up sperm from having one encounter with a male shark and then just like use that sperm. Like they have a little pocket of it and then they just like make batches of babies for a while.
Okay. They can save up and then go,
yeah.
Oh, it's a bad time for male sharks.
Yeah.
We're losing a lot of male sharks.
Yeah. Exactly.
Holy
they
smokes.
Don't need, they're like, okay, see ya.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a family without you for a while.
For a while.
Yeah. And you're not going to know anything about it.
Wow. But there's no child support.
No child support at all, but they don't need it. A lot of sharks are
they mammals? I don't know anything about sharks.
So sharks are fish. Whales are mammals.
Okay.
And
what about whale sharks?
Whale sharks are also fish.
Also fish.
So they're giant fish. And even though I'm a dork, I don't know what that means. I don't know the difference between. I think air breathing.
It's all birthing. It's birthing and air breathing. Okay. It's air because dolphins are mammals because they breathe through their thingity bob, and then
fish have eggs.
And fish, I believe fish have eggs, and mammals do live birth out of themselves.
Okay, but sharks do live birth out of themselves too.
Oh, weird.
Maybe they don't.
Okay.
That's something that I'm not a dork about, I guess.
Right. That part of their reproduct. You know what? You're allowing them their privacy.
Sharks are a very private species, and I think it's important.
We're all knitting onesies.
It's really important to not observe that part of it. It's very private.
It's very private. They don't need your. You got a nose problem? What are you, Mrs. Kravitz? You got to let that go.
But I do know that some sharks have parthenogenesis, which is the kind of reproduction where you can just have a baby without a guy.
Okay,
so they're like
amoebas,
super lesbians.
Super lesbians.
Yeah, like they just never. I mean, they don't even
need a fella.
They don't even need a female either.
Right. No turkey basters. Just nothing.
They're just making a copy of themselves and giving birth to it.
They really? Mm-hmm. What's that called?
Parthenogenesis.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's like really cool.
It's like solo cloning.
Yeah, and they're just very private people.
They really are. They don't.
So I went on a shark diving expedition when I was in Hawaii, and I've always loved sharks. I've always been really fascinated with them. I think getting killed by a shark is like a great way to go.
That'd be the way to go.
It's very rare, so that's one thing.
Right.
You'd have a story.
Who doesn't?
You wouldn't, but the other people would about you, hopefully. And I just love them so much.
That's not how we thought we'd lose her, and there it was. That was how we thought. That's what she was hoping to be lost in.
My ex-boyfriend used to joke about me that I'd be swimming around like trying to get bit by a shark, and the sharks would be like, "Ooh, you want it too bad."
Right.
But I went on a shark diving expedition that was cage-free. You're just on a tow rope, and the sharks swim around with you. And
that does sound like a death wish.
It does,
right?
And it's not. And
okay.
The reason it's not is why I became even more of a shark dork, because we think of them as these, they see you, they bite you, type of thing.
Yeah.
And in fact, they're such advanced predators that their ability to sense things in the water is so advanced that they know when we're there.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily see us as food until they mistake some part of our body a lot of the times as like a struggling fish. So a lot of times a shark will see a hand waving around off a surfboard and go, is that a fish that's stuck to something and I need to eat it because it's stuck in something?
Yeah, yeah.
So sharks are the super predator sharks are the trash collectors of the ocean. They feed off of sick and dying and old fish.
Oh.
So a lot of time it'll be the slowest seal pup. It'll be an injured, whale pup. It'll be a sick sea turtle. They're cleaning up the ocean so that those species get more and more strong, so that the lineage gets stronger and there's not a lot of sick and dead populations.
It's a basic sort of evolutionary thing where the old and the infirm and the weak die off.
Yeah.
And the sharks are essentially those shepherds.
They're shepherd, and they're so without sharks cleaning up the ocean, the fish populations change and they get mutated and they get kind of gross.
And do they? What was it? They can eat almost anything. Is what you're saying?
Some sharks can eat almost anything. A lot of sharks are super hyper specialized. There's a few different sharks, like bull sharks, tiger sharks, great white sharks, Mako sharks, maybe one other kind of shark that have more frequent human encounters in which there's an injury of some kind.
Right.
It's very, 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 very rare to actually be killed by a shark, and even rarer to be ingested. The only type of shark that really ingests human flesh is a tiger shark, because tiger sharks are there's that that your friend has a dog that they're I can't, it'll just eat anything.
Right. It can eat chocolate. It can eat garbage.
They found garbage bags full of garbage inside of a whale shark tummy. They found license plates. They'll just eat anything.
They're like goats?
Yeah.
They're the
anything
goats of the ocean.
In the ocean, they'll just, exactly. They're like goats of the ocein.
Goat shark instead of
goat
tiger
sharks,
shark.
Ocean goats.
Ocean goats.
And that's what tiger sharks kind of are like, but they also they're beautiful and they look like great white sharks with stripes on them, but they don't pursue any. If somebody runs, if they get a fast fish in their sights, they go after it. If the fish swims away, they don't pursue it. So they don't burn a lot of energy, these sharks that bite everything, these tiger sharks. And therefore, they don't need to eat that often. They eat every 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So we see a tiger shark as this bloodthirsty, hungry thing. And in fact, when I was in the water, there was a tiger shark there. It wouldn't come near us because it was like, what is that? I don't like that.
Yeah.
They're very.
I've heard about them. They're trouble.
Yeah, exactly. So they're very.
They're not particularly curious.
They're not particularly curious, but like if something floats by them that's smaller than them, they'll eat it.
They'll take a swipe at it.
Right.
With their face.
Yes.
Right. Because
with their face, they don't have hands.
They don't have hands. They just have flippers.
Exactly. So they can't touch something, flippers? Lift it up and smell it and lick it. They don't have a tongue that sticks out. So like their whole assessment process is like eat it, see if it's okay. Yeah. And so and the other thing about it, the reason it wasn't a death wish was when we were in the ocean, we learned that there's a water column that we were swimming in, which is a feeding area for a lot of sharks, and it's where a lot of sharks tend to congregate. So it's like an area in the water where I guess there's like I don't even know what a water column is anymore. I forgot.
Whirlpool?
Been too long. I think it's where the water isn't like moving really fast.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's still a little bit and so we'll just hang out. I don't know. Scientists correct me. But basically it's an area where all these sharks congregate, and because a lot of sharks congregate in this one area and it becomes a column where the smaller sharks are at the bottom and the bigger sharks are at the top, which is generally in the ocean the way it works is that there's like a hierarchical size pedagogy or whatever, like where the
even with other fishes or mostly just with
definitely
sharks
with other fishes. Like if other fishes came around, they would just get eaten. Right. But so like there was small sharks below us, and then there was tiger sharks on our level, but only one. She came and she left immediately almost. And then us as the sharks, the bigger looking things, we were at the top, and we were instructed to just stay at the top. And then these other sharks that were about 6 feet long were all swimming beneath us. And our flippers made us bigger. So they kind of just let us be up there.
Right.
And
because they're like, they're the big sharks.
They're the big sharks. So don't fuck with them, because they will fuck with you back.
Right.
That's kind of the way that they behave in the water and the way they think about it. Right, these sharks, I can't remember exactly what kind they were, but they were swimming beneath us, and then what we were instructed to do is if they interacted with us, because a lot of them would, because we had these little cameras. Okay. And they have electromagnetic impulse things, and they're like, what is that? So they want to come up to it, and they're like, is it a struggling fish? I need to know. Right. So come up, and you were instructed to look at them, like turn your body to face them. Yeah. And it happened to me. And it works. It was crazy. Like just like a dog, like where it's like, it's chasing you, whatever, it wants to see what you're about. Like you turn and you kind of like, you square off with it. Yeah. And it goes, okay. And a shark came up to me. Yeah. And I like turned to face it, and he just goes right back. He's like, all right, okay. Just checking. Just checking. Yeah. Yeah. And it was incredible. I mean, it was very peaceful. The scariest thing about being in the water was that the current was like moving really rapidly. And so you had to hold on. And if you let go, you would have to just really swim to catch back up.
You would die.
Well, you wouldn't die. Okay. Because then they wouldn't just put you on a tow rope. Right. You would just start to float away. Right. And then you'd have to, people would not notice that they were floating away because they were like, wow, sharks. Yeah. And then they'd look up and they'd be like, oh, crap. And they have to
tow rope.
Run to
I'm
get
surprised
back
that they didn't clip the tow rope to you.
No.
They didn't want you to get tangled in it?
They didn't want you to get tangled, and they didn't want you, they wanted you to float backwards, at your comfort. Oh, okay. So some people weren't floating at all on the tow rope. Zac Efron was there. And Zac
Efron from television and movies?
From television and movies. And because I did this when I was on a movie. Okay. In
which
Hawaii,
movie were you on?
Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, which he was in.
Yeah, yeah.
So he just went right off.
Your career is fancier than I know. But know in your heart that...
Fancier than a lot of club owners know, too.
What the fuckers? You should please book Alice Wetterlund.
Thank you.
There's comedy in a row. That's what you're looking for. The stand-up comedy where it's a setup and then a punchline and then you've laughed.
Yeah,
that's all.
We like it.
That's the whole project.
I do it all the time.
She does it all the time, and she can do it for 45 to 60 minutes and follow 2 other comics.
Thank you.
So let's get that together.
All right.
Now, okay.
Anyway, he was just swimming around.
Yeah.
Touching them.
Oh God.
Yeah, he tried to ride one time. He doesn't have a lot of boundaries with sharks. And I'm like, they're private.
Give them their privacy. And so what? Was he in High School Musical? Who's Zac Efron?
Zac Efron. Yeah, he's in High School Musical.
I had to review it for some website, and so I ended up watching all 3 of them in a row.
Wow.
And
he's great.
Is he? That's awesome.
I think he's
of
really
course,
talented.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, he's very talented.
Yeah.
But it was so funny in the first one, they don't even kiss.
No.
They don't kiss till the 3rd movie. And you're like, oh, this is nothing like Grease, where people might be pregnant.
Yeah.
Right there in the beginning.
From kissing.
From that.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Some sharks can get pregnant that way. That's a lie. I made that up.
That's a second fun fact about sharks is they no kissing, much like hookers.
Yeah.
Anyway, what happened? I've weeded off. Let's get back to sharks. So my ad. I'm about to do an ad. You guys, this ad is for the New Yorker. I think we're all familiar with the freaking New Yorker. It is an iconic magazine that represents the best writing in America today. And forever, by the way. There's long articles that are clips from books. There's investigative journalism. There's the cartoons, which is the first thing I read. But the great thing is you not only get home delivery of the print edition each week, you get the digital version is available on your phone, your iPad, your iPhone, the Nook, the Kindle. TheNewYorker.com publishes 15 to 20 new stories each day that aren't available in the print edition. And the complete online archive features every issue of the print magazine since 1925. It's the freaking New Yorker, you guys. Ronan Farrow wrote those breaking news on Harvey Weinstein and Les Moonves, and he won a Pulitzer. There's cultural stuff, there's political stuff, there's entertainment news. It is the best magazine out there, in my opinion. So don't wait. Go to NewYorker.com/dork. And listeners of The Dork Forest save 50% when they enter code DORK. With this special offer, you'll receive 12 issues for $6. Plus, get the exclusive New Yorker tote bag. You can choose between print, digital, or a combo print and digital. You subscribe to The New Yorker and feel free to read something that means something. That's 12 issues. Oh my gosh, The New Yorker's slogan is read something that means something. They're not wrong, you guys, but that's 12 issues for $6 and a free tote bag when you go to NewYorker.com/dork. Let's get back into the show. Oh, by the way, everyone should know I'm talking to Alice Wetterlund, and it's Wetterlund.
If you've just joined us.
If you've just joined us, or if there's been some sort of advertisement. Because sometimes there's an advertisement.
Mm-hmm. My thing about them is that the way that we approach them as a society is so... we have such a specific association with them as these like alien predator scary things. And they are scary, and they are, very different than us. But they're also necessary to the world.
Right.
They really serve their purpose in the food chain. And I appreciate how I just feel like if we gave it a little space and like step back and went, okay, is it more likely that I'm going to get electrocuted than attacked by a shark
or run over by a car?
Yeah, well, a billion times more likely. And we're all not getting out of this alive. Maybe let's, I mean, the fact is we're as a human race, like getting in the ocean so much more since we're multiplying so much more. There's more and more people in the ocean. So the shark attacks are going up just because
of numbers.
Yeah. And sharks are starting to figure out, well, we are.
Right.
And the thing that is enraging to me is like that could be a cool thing. It could be a thing where we are like respecting their areas more often. But instead, we get in these shark cage diving things, and then we set up a relationship with sharks that is like, they're coming at the cage because it's got all these cameras on it, and they don't know what it is, and then we're like, they're bloodthirsty, it's terrifying, and then we go tell our friends about, and it's just not the relationship. It's a relationship of our choosing as humans,
because we've set them up to make them look super aggressive.
Yeah. When in fact, if we were in the safari and we just went up to a lion, we would call that person stupid,
right,
for having done that. But that's what we're literally doing in the ocean.
Yeah,
it's their habitat.
Yeah, that's where they live.
Yeah,
I tried to do a joke for many months, and then I gave up. It was about how I think that, I've never wanted to swim with dolphins or pet the eels, the stingrays, and swim with sharks. I swam with the whale shark because they needed a fourth to get the deal. I was in Australia. doing something north of Perth, and there was they were like, we need one more person, and I was like, I think that we should leave them alone, because I always think that animals are like, well, go find a person to hang out with. I'm actually looking for another dolphin to hang out with, or whatever. It's like, what did you want?
Yeah.
And so, if you want to swim with, like, I always loved Flipper, like the TV show Flipper, and the movie. But the if there is a way to not interfere with animals,
right?
Because I really do like looking at them, and I think that they're very beautiful.
Yeah,
and I love dogs.
Yeah,
but and cats are fine.
Yeah,
but But I don't necessarily think that if you go poke at one,
right?
Like I was just in Yellowstone, and the week that I was there, 4 different middle-aged white ladies tried to pet wild animals, and they were hurt, obviously, because they went up to bison, and one woman tried to fucking pet a moose.
Yeah, that's not.
What are you, nuts?
I mean, there's a proper way to do it.
Right. Turn around, make yourself bigger.
Yeah.
And but it was like, but I think that there are ways to interact with nature, and you have to,
That's
some
respectful.
extent, hire someone.
Yeah.
Hire someone who knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
You've helped someone's income.
Exactly.
You've saved up.
Yeah.
Or watch all the shows on PBS, which is what I've always done.
There's so much amazing technology and ability to film. Like, you could do a virtual reality swim with a shark now.
Oh, right.
And it'd be amazing, because you could do it with the footage. But, if you really need to interact with a shark, do one of these diving trips. And if you get so into it that it's like your favorite thing, then you're going to have to save up some money so you can do these diving trips some more, know?
Right.
And there's ways to go about it that are helpful to really understanding these creatures. But if you just want to have a scare, there's so many other ways to do that don't like fuck with people's habitat.
People's or other beings at the very least.
Yeah.
I mean
whales, it's a different story because whales are mammals, and we do have more in common with whales than we do with sharks. I just think with sharks it's like it's like Klingons. Like, how Klingon the Klingon world, it's like when they first invented Klingons, it was like, Klingons are the worst because all they do is fight with each other, and it's so stupid.
Right.
And then our understanding of this thing that we'd created, but like our understanding of this, it was like another society. And I think the way that Discovery is tackling it in the new show is that like Klingons have their own way of doing things.
Right.
And because they're not humans, maybe it's not bad for them.
It's just different.
Like if somebody was going around in a human world acting like a Klingon, that would suck because we have our own value system that we have our own better angels.
Right.
But Klingons seem to be working this way. So like maybe don't superimpose human values on top of them.
Wow. Is there a new season of Discovery out yet?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No,
it's coming. Oh, the shorts are. Are there some shorts on CBS?
Yeah, they're not good.
Access? And they're just okay?
They're just okay. I'm
That's
going to
fine.
wait for the actual series.
Right. I love the first
I
season.
loved it.
Love the first. Do you have a podcast?
Yes.
About
You've
Star
been on
Trek?
it.
I've been on it.
Yeah.
We were discussing how I don't know
drove
things.
somewhere.
Yeah, I drove somewhere. I got out of my car and sat there. Did we watch the worst episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Well, we were in season 1 when we had you, so
and it was a
we've been watching.
racist episode.
Yeah,
it was that
pretty
one.
much all of them are in the beginning. Yeah,
but it was grim. It was like, didn't Worf say, "I don't want to be in this one," but Geordi was in it?
Oh my God, I think so. Yeah,
that was the one. Yeah, I remember that one.
We're in 3 now, so it's getting really good.
Oh,
so we should have you back.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
it's getting
What's the name
so
of the
much
podcast
better.
again?
Treks in the City.
Treks in the City, you guys.
Listen to it.
Listen to it because it's super fun.
madcap. Yeah, it's pretty madcap.
And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
but my mind is a sieve.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Aisha Tyler, many years ago, sitting right where you were, and I said to her, "So have you done anything since Friends?" And she was like, "I could murder you right now." And I said, "I'm not following your career." And she's like, "Things are going well. Leave me alone." and so, because I just love her stand up.
Yeah. Well, exactly. That's what you're paying attention to.
I am sadly just because everyone has books and stuff that they would also like to talk about.
Right.
Anyway.
I forgot about my podcast till just now. So
exactly,
yeah,
it came up because when the comparison to sharks and the Klingons, I think it's a valid comparison.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
that's why I made it.
That's exactly. You're not screwing around. It's so what? Okay, so what's your favorite shark?
I really like I think
right
now, the Mako shark.
The Mako. How do you spell it? M-A-K-O?
M-A-K-O. They're just so fast.
Oh, they're fast sharks.
Just so fucking fast. They're so fast. They're shaped like what you'd think a fast thing would be.
Yeah.
It's like a bullet shaped
but a
shark.
gray rubbery
and everything.
bullet.
It looks like a shark stretched out. It's going so fast. Like a great white stretched out.
Oh.
Yeah. And they're really, really mysterious to us. It's really hard. I like them because it's so hard to study them because they always get away. They're so fast.
They just take
and they
it
don't
on the
hang
arches.
out. Why would they? They're running around the world.
Yeah.
Just eating shit, being fast.
How tall are they? How long are they?
I don't know. Probably 8.
A good 6-8 feet?
Yeah, because if you're counting the tail fin, I think
And
they
I
can get
am.
up to 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're super long and skinny, and they're just bullety.
I'm going to ask Siri because I want to back check that. How long can a Mako shark get? She heard a lot of that.
Did you find something on the web, Siri?
She looked it up.
She looked it up.
Isn't Siri's like having an assistant that just Googles things?
That's nice.
Let
me Google that.
Yeah, so
for you.
14 feet
Oh, 14 feet.
is the longest.
That's and let me see a picture.
See, it looks like it's like a.
It looks like a shark.
Like a shark that you'd.
It looks like
stretched it out.
Oh, good. I'm glad that they can bend their tail down.
Yeah, if
'Cause,
they're
they're-
sad. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that
Well,
is.
because there's this one which just looks like a straight like sardine, but obviously 14 feet long.
It looks like a sardine.
Yeah, and then this one where the tail is down, you're like, oh, okay. Then
He's
they
cuter.
can. Yeah, you could. And I'll tell you this: Finding Nemo has cuted up a shark. Because did you see Finding Nemo?
Yes.
Okay.
The first one.
The first one, right. So in the shark in Finding Nemo was very dangerous and everybody very scared.
Yeah.
And then turns out happy shark.
Yeah.
Did
he have like a New Jersey accent or something?
I don't remember his accent offhand. But it was more of an opportunity for people to sort of you want to anthropomorphize a shark to allow them to exist in like if you can pull the teeth out of them metaphorically, please leave the teeth in the shark.
Yeah. You can try to take them out. Good luck.
Right. That used to be a thing when I was a kid to have a shark tooth necklace. And
that's because of the finning.
Are people taking shark fins because they're supposed to be good for aphrodisiacs or something,
and
right?
it's not.
No.
The hard thing about that is
Do you know
that
what really turns people on? Other humans touching your bits. That is all you need. Grandpa Chinaman. Chinaman? That does sound racist. But I was just in Vietnam. And
but what if you are a China man?
You're a man in China and you would like a shark fin because you think it's going to be good for your pee-pee.
Yeah.
And
it's just a status thing, really.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure that a lot of Chinese affluent people understand that shark fin soup doesn't actually give you magical sex juju, but it's like the status thing of it is, the reason to, it's kind of like a foie gras, throw caution to the wind, fuck you type of thing.
Right. It's a Marie Antoinette moment.
It is.
A shark fin thing because sometimes they don't use the rest of the shark.
They don't use the rest of the shark. It's so gross.
If they ate all of the shark,
right.
Maybe I would be like, I eat and use leather.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I'm not doing a lot with hooves and stuff, but but it could be.
She's got a lot of hooves around here.
There's
She's not doing anything with
loose
them yet.
hooves that I'm not using for stock. And
loose hooves.
The word loose on top of anything can really, really brighten up a sentence.
Where do I leave these hooves?
Well, loose hooves go in that bucket. Yikes. But it's, I've thought about becoming a vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even good at eating in moderation.
Yeah.
Much less.
I'm a vegetarian who eats meat.
Oh, interesting.
Frequently.
How about this? I like vegetables.
Yeah.
I genuinely do.
Yeah.
I like gluten-free. Yesterday I had a personal pan pizza made with some cauliflower flour as a crust.
Where?
At the California Pizza Kitchen.
How was it?
It was good, which I've never been to a California Pizza Kitchen because it's a California Pizza Kitchen. It's sort of like eating at a spaghetti factory.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to eat at a factory. I don't want to perform at a factory. I don't want to. I don't want to shop at a factory. What I want to do is I want it to be an artisanal experience in some small way, shape, or form.
I don't want to perform where the jokes are made.
Right.
I don't want to perform where the jokes are sold and bought.
I don't want to
No
buy
store,
anything.
no factory.
I don't want to process anything. I don't want to. What does he say in Say Anything? I don't want to buy anything. I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to process anything. I just want to hang out with your daughter.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
That ruined so many lives.
So many lives.
That movie is responsible for a lot of unrealistic expectations about how men will act.
Oh, it's true. And then right back, and also Where Happiness Lies followed in his trilogy of He's Too Good at Things, High Fidelity.
Yes.
High Fidelity, where he has not one, but two incredibly hot women that are very interested in him.
Way interested.
He has a record shop that he owns, and then he has a beautiful apartment. Not enough. Not enough. And I like John Cusack.
I know.
And then followed by the best but the worst, Grosse Point Blank. Grosse Point Blank, where he goes back to his high school reunion, and
yes.
he's a murderer. Yes.
You're a John Cusack dork.
Bit of a John Cusack dork, a little bit right here. And
it's okay.
So the Mako
friends.
shark. Safe space. The Mako shark. What else do we like about it? Why is it called Mako? Do we know?
I don't know. It's a cool, in Minnesota, you're from this neck of the woods, so you understand there's that Mako auto repair thing.
Yeah.
It's like, better get Mako.
Better get Mako.
So I know about that, but I don't know why.
It's called Mako. Maybe that's the dude that discovered them.
Maybe.
Because sometimes they'll just name... Because a tiger shark makes sense. It has tiger stripes.
Here it is. The shark was named for Johnny Mako. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't make that up. They live to 35 years old.
When you said that they were millions of years old, I was like, wait, are there ones still around?
We can ask them anything.
They
met... They saw
knew.
Hamilton and they're like, actually, it's really close to what it was like. We were there.
Oh my God.
It'd be amazing if they were that smart. So, but whales are. Whales are hundreds of years old sometimes. Like, not hundreds, but like whales live to be over 100.
Okay.
And in Mexico, I read this in the New York Magazine. There was New York Times Magazine.
Okay.
Too many New York Magazine
Right.
publications. Let's get rid of this print media shenanigans.
Print media keeps... And they name them all after the town.
Stupid.
All right.
There was a incident where there was kind of like a renaissance of whale watching in the Gulf of Mexico when this guy was fishing in a boat and this whale lifted him up out of the sea, and he was like, whales, scary, because they didn't really interact with whales at this point. It was like in the 90s, and then they put him down again, and he realized the whale was just chilling and hanging out with him and just sort of trying to say hello.
Oh, right.
And so all these tourists started coming to hang out with the whales in fishing boats, and the whales would bring their pups, their little baby whales, next to the boats to say hello and look at. So the whales were doing human tourism.
Right. I once went on a whale watch, the best whale watch I ever went on, and I've been on probably 5,
Wow.
2 of which were good, because I like a whale watch. I like the sea. Mm-hmm. That's not where I'm from. I'm not from the sea.
No?
I'm not a pirate, but I do wish I were from the sea.
Yeah.
And so in Provincetown, Massachusetts, off of Macmillan Wharf, there was in I believe September, I went on a whale watch, and the mama whale brought the baby whales, and they scraped themselves on the side of the boat.
Yeah.
And the captain of the boat said, "It's nice. It's like a scratching post for these guys."
Yeah.
But it was adorable. And it was really cool because we got to see a giant whale right next to the boat.
Right next to the boat.
And pups and little
baby
whales.
whales, yeah.
Little baby whales.
And in this particular instance, what was so interesting and cool was that it really was a renaissance for them studying whales, but some of the whales that were swimming that were very old in this little gulf were they had scars, and they realized that some of the scars were harpoon scars.
Oh.
Really specific shape and size of scars that were scarred over in a way that they were so that has to be so they realized like this was a huge whaling business was in this area. And so some of these sharks had interacted with harpooners.
Whales.
Way back when. And then, so the whales ended up not coming back with their kids for a really long time.
Right.
'Cause they were like, we don't want to get fucking whaled or harpooned.
Right.
And so...
Whaled on.
We don't want to get whaled on by these fucking whalers.
Yeah.
And so then they came back after years and years and years, the same whales that remembered that what humans had done to see, are they better?
Aww.
You know?
Holy smokes.
And they were like, it was like this incredible sort of human thing where they were like, we're just trying to see if you guys...
Right. Did you guys learn anything?
For no other reason, to just out of curiosity, really.
Yeah.
To come back and see, is it chill now?
Yeah.
And they started studying these whales, and they realized, like, whales talk underwater. They have, like, real whale language where they have names for their clans.
Right. I know that from Star Trek. And
so amazing.
Right.
Much more human than sharks.
Yeah. And sharks feel more foreign. They don't feel like, do they communicate with each other?
I don't know.
Or are they solo?
They're very solitary.
Right.
But they might communicate with each other in ways that we don't know.
Because I know that dolphins have pods. Mm-hmm. Do whales travel in groups?
Some whales do. Smaller ones.
Okay.
Hammerheads sometimes will travel together. Not
Hammerhead
travel
sharks?
really, but they'll just hang out together.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's generally because like the eating process is really, it's better for a shark for there to not be a frenzy.
Right.
When they're hunting. So if they see it first, better for them.
Right.
But some sharks hang out in groups, like familial packs. I think like there's certain species that have, they'll hang out with all women sharks.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. It's
like one dude shark and a bunch of women sharks?
No, like all women sharks. No,
just
dudes.
all...
Like they'll hang out as a family until they mature sexually and then
just
go off by themselves. I'm out of my depth now.
Right. But
pun intended. But there's also, again, like 500 species of them. So some of them are smaller sharks that are like this big and they'll hang out in groups and, they'll eat differently. So whale sharks, for instance, will eat like... they hang out with their kids, I believe, until their kids mature.
Wow. Yeah. They eat a lot of that, sort of the same kind of things that whales eat. Mm-hmm. All the tiny, the tiny stuff.
Yeah. But they're just sharks.
But they are technically sharks.
Yes.
And the hammerhead shark. Mm-hmm. I forgot about the hammerhead shark. That's the coolest looking shark.
360-degree view. So, like, it's like they're in an IMAX.
Both
sides all the time.
They only have 2 eyeballs, though?
Right, but they're positioned on their body with no other... There's not like a eye and then a bunch of head in the way. So there's just an eye, and they're just like out here, and they can kind of like...
They're on the flat sides of the hammer, essentially.
Yes.
And the peripheral vision is so good that they can see...
I think it's like this.
Yeah.
Like they look up and down, and they can see all around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's incredible. And the shark eyes, another benefit to being millions of years old evolutionarily is that your sense of smell they have senses of smell, but they're not for breathing. So their nose is only for smelling. Their sense of vision is, in certain types of species of sharks, so adapted that they have like the ability to switch between 3-dimensional and 2-dimensional vision.
What?
So a shark can decide when they're looking at something from 3 dimensions if they want to get a 2-dimensional view of it to have a more like high res version of that object they're looking at. They just switch to 2D.
Right.
So it's like a lens of a camera going like in for 2D, but
and
you can
thwip. Thwip.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
They can adjust the heat of their eyeballs. Yeah. So that gives them an ability to, I think, stretch their irises in a way that gives them more telescopic ability. Like, so their senses of vision is like 100 times what a human would be.
Right.
And this makes them just so good at being predators. But so the fact that they're not constantly eating is really interesting to me. Like, if they're that good at eating.
Right.
That they're that good at hunting their prey that they're not constantly eating.
Yeah.
Well, they don't need to because they're just so good at it. So what else are they doing?
Ooh. Good point.
Do you know what I mean? Because they're so advanced.
Right.
They've been around for 5 extinctions.
Yeah.
What are they doing? What are they thinking about?
What's the downtime?
It's so interesting to me.
Right. If they only eat every 3 weeks,
well,
then they're just
tiger sharks do.
Right.
And
Or-
it's a license plate. No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and right, but if they're wandering the ocean,
Yeah.
just thinking big thoughts.
what do they know?
What do they know that we
That's
don't
what
know?
I want to know is what do they know?
Holy smokes! I bet they know any number of things we don't
but
know.
it's like it's so abstract, right? So like their idea, they're not like philosophizing in the way that we would be, but they're philosophizing in some way
yeah,
in shark world.
in shark world. And do they communicate like with sonar, like whales do?
No.
or no. So they just, I don't know. Do they bark? What?
Well, I mean,
do they have noises?
They're capable of communicating in terms of like they're capable of having relationships and remembering beings they've interacted with. For certain pelagic divers, like shark specialists, they've had relationships with certain sharks. So they'll tag a shark. Like this one guy had a great white shark that he was studying and knew that shark by name. The pelagic specialist that I went diving with, she knew all the whale sharks, and not the whale sharks, the tiger sharks by sight.
Okay.
That would swim in that area.
Yeah.
So she would see them and know them. And a lot of the dolphin sharks that we were swimming with, I think they're called dolphin sharks, she knew them too. One
Okay.
of them had one eye, and she knew their behaviors, and they knew her.
Okay.
So she was just swimming around with them, and they'd come up to her and never be aggressive with her. They knew that she wasn't there to take their food.
Right.
You know, and they knew that her as a thing that wasn't food.
Right.
You know?
So she's not food, and she's not there to interrupt their lives
Right.
so much.
Right.
As just she's just curious, and they're like, well, us too.
So from their behavior, we can establish that they're capable of having, but you know, we don't know what exactly they think of us. And, you know, like with dogs, we can kind of see what their relationship to us is because we've evolved them to be a certain thing. Like
Right.
we've trained dogs to be dependent on humans.
Right.
But sharks in the water can play and act like dogs in a certain way. So that's really weird
That
they
is.
have that ability. Like this shark that this guy had developed a relationship with, you know, he would play with it. It would like bring things around, you know, like,
Yeah.
and it's like, it's cute, but it's also like, why?
Right.
And what is it doing to that shark's insane brain?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
to
yeah.
have this situation.
You make me want to find out. Like, I'm sure there's any number of people who are studying sharks, right? And want to know how they communicate, what they talk about,
Yeah.
who they're telling.
Right. Because
And
it's so different. I mean, like we talk about how people want to know about aliens and like what aliens are like. And they're always these like bipeds that come to Earth and they're like, I'm different. And it's like, well, if we really want to study something different than us, that thinks differently than us, that has a whole like system of living.
Yeah.
We should study these creatures that are living on Earth.
Yeah.
That are so advanced.
Yeah.
That they haven't developed a technology. They haven't developed tools to use, but that's because it's all inside of their bodies. They don't need it.
They are a tool.
They are tools. They
Yeah.
have computers that are like we don't have computers that can do the things that sharks can do underwater. The
Right.
things that can, we don't have a computer that can both smell like an ounce of blood in the water, like in a mile radius, and
Yeah.
also notice electrical currents of a struggling fish nearby, and also the pressure in water, and
Right.
you know what I mean. Like
and
we
then
don't
change their eyeballs.
like it's
to-
incredible.
Yeah. I mean, just
So-
the enormity of the things that they're capable of.
Yeah.
And that's from shark to shark to shark.
Yeah.
Wow. When were you in Hawaii? Was it like 5
was-
years ago or something?
Three
Yeah.
3.5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I wanna
amazing.
Go back.
It's
And nobody wants to go back to Hawaii. I know once they've been, it's sort of a nightmare. But
right. It's so
I think
hard.
I'd actually like to go back in. So.
I've never been to Hawaii. It's I've been to
Really?
Alaska, but
Yeah.
it's like Hawaii. It's one of the ones.
Yeah.
It's one of the other two.
outliers.
And I've been to Puerto Rico, which is not a state,
really?
but is
Hopefully soon.
well, if they want it, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we
enough.
want it.
We want
It'd
it.
be great for us.
Yeah, it'd be great for us, and maybe then everyone would remember that they were citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Even though people have a hard time remembering people in Hawaii are citizens.
People have a hard time remembering people in the United States are citizens. a lot of the time.
Noted. Good point. Yes. Hello,
These people.
Alabama.
These people who are not very curious about sharks or anything else.
Right. And it's so do you do a fair amount of aquarium kind of situations?
I don't like aquariums generally.
Have you been to the Monterey one?
No.
That one?
It's depressing to see,
Right. SeaWorld.
captivity.
I could see. Like, I don't much like the zoo.
Yeah.
But I do like the wildlife park outside of San Diego, which is affiliated with the zoo. I've never been to the San Diego Zoo.
Yeah.
But the wildlife park, it's sort of like the Hearst Castle. Like it's millions. It's a bunch of acres.
Yeah, those things are totally. I'm fine with them, and a lot of times they have breeds of animals that have been injured or they've were born into captivity, not of the zoo's choice, but they just were. And so it makes sense for them to live in the zoo. The thing about oceanic captivity, of course, is that like there's a way to enclose an animal that's like really super bad. And we know about that from SeaWorld. And there's ways to do it where like I think there's certain dolphin ponds and pools in Hawaii where they have outdoor, like out in the ocean,
which is what Monterey,
where they
Monterey's attached to the sea.
Yeah. So it's not like they're in these fish bowls essentially.
Right. And I think some of them are in fish bowls.
Yeah.
But
it's depressing to me to see, but I'm again extrapolating my human idea of captivity on top of it. So
I'm
thinking of it as jail or whatever, and I don't know what they're thinking of it as.
Right. And with the extinction problems,
yes,
it's always there's part of me that's like, well, I know that in some cases we're like, well, we might need those animals.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's keep a couple of them alive.
Let's Noah's Ark that shit.
Yeah, and but I don't. But it would be nice if we weren't so horrible. Mm-hmm. And it would be. How great would it be if people weren't monsters?
I'd love it.
I'm in favor of it. I'm in favor of I'm sure I've been monstrous twice during this podcast. But I'm aware of it. So you don't really go to aquariums. Mm-hmm. You watch a lot of the programming.
I watch the programming. I read a lot about.
You read about sharks?
Yeah, on the internet or whatever.
You're checking out very powerful articles?
Mm-hmm. I'm a member of Oceana, which is an ocean conservancy org. And every year I ask for a donation to Oceana for my Christmas gift.
Oh,
That's what I want every year. And they have really interesting like pamphlets and stuff like that about them. And the other thing that I do is like, I guess I pretty much, I guess I watch Shark Week and I think about them. And every time I think about sharks, it like makes me feel really great.
That's awesome.
And
what does Oceana do? Do they just work for legislation like normal?
They do all the different things. So they like raise awareness. They donate money to educational organizations and research foundations, researchers that are going to forward the sort of like the economy of more protections.
Yeah.
And they do legislation. Some of their funding is going towards collecting more funding, of course.
Sure.
And then, I don't know, just general conservation efforts like clean up the ocean type shit.
And do you get a magazine
and awareness stuff
from them? A monthly kind of
from them. You can get a stuffed whale or something like that if you want.
Sure, they have a plushie.
If you're a tiny kid. But I like them because they don't send you stuff.
That's good.
If you want, you can get a magazine or you can get a digital magazine. And if you want, they will send you emails. And if you want, they will send you literature. But like I get 2 things a year from them.
That's perfect.
And I donate every year. So
that's perfect.
That's perfect. I like organizations that leave you alone.
Yeah.
But actually use the money to do things.
Yeah, just use the money and I will remember that you exist.
Yes.
LA Food Bank,
Yeah.
I know that you're out there. I'm on your side. I'm totally on your side.
I like to get out a lot and do, anytime there's an opportunity to like, animals are just my jam and I fucking love. I was going to do cats, but somebody else did cats.
Oh, sure.
I know a lot about cats. And I just love, I love learning about animals and I love, learning. Like my mom is always like telling me the hierarchy. She's like, okay, it goes people, animals, things. That's the important levels. Okay. We have to go people, animals, things, because sometimes the people and the animals for me, it kind of gets out of whack. And I think animals are more important.
Right.
And my mom's like, it's unhealthy to do that. It's really important for you to keep that.
She would like you to be more species.
So she encourages me to, and I think she encourages everyone to think of animals as, having their own code of honor.
Yeah.
If you want to use a Klingon phrase, but like a way of like if you anthropomorphize an animal too much, you're like giving it this power over you emotionally that they don't want or need, and it's not helpful to them.
Right.
And so
They
I
can't
like
even
to
use it. Yeah.
They can't even. Yeah. So I like to study, animals in nature, and I like to go out, anytime I go to like a hike or whatever, or a camping trip, there's always some opportunity to like go and check out the wildlife.
Now I know, are there good shows? Like I've only watched
Planet Earth.
No, I haven't watched it.
Okay.
That's the only one
I don't watch Planet Earth because I don't smoke pot.
Oh, and it's
so it's like I watch it, but
is it kind of groovy?
It's really groovy. It's just with the high def TVs, it's like incredible what you can see.
Yeah.
And you can learn a ton about it, but it's just kind of like it's just endlessly mind blowing to see these. I saw one about spiders.
Yeah.
That showed like a spider building a web across a river.
Yeah.
And it's just like such a long web, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa, this web's nuts.
Right. I guess if you did smoke pot, it would be something to watch 1,000
It's like
times.
the thing.
Right. I don't like spiders.
No.
I was just in Cambodia, and there was talk of, we did a roadside thing that they had silkworm larvae, snakes, and rat that had been barbecued. It was a barbecue stand. And they were like, hey, do you want in on some of the rat or the snakes or the bugs? And I was like, I don't. And then there was a sauteed ant thing that I also did not enjoy. I don't
No, I wouldn't want to eat bugs.
I don't want to eat them. I know that there'll be a day when maybe we all have to eat bugs.
Yeah.
But that day is not today.
Yeah.
And if you like
true.
a bug, eat bugs.
I'm going to this
I'm not gonna-
CPK.
Right. I'm not going. I don't make anyone eat okra that
Right.
doesn't like okra.
No.
It's a food I enjoyed as a child. Some people get it when they're adults and they're like, too slimy, can't do it.
I was a huge arachnophobe as a kid. I was like so like screaming terrified of spiders.
Yeah.
And then I somewhere along the line figured out that spiders get rid of flies.
Yeah.
And I started to really
And
gravitate
mosquitoes.
towards. I was like, I actually think spiders and I might be, the
You have
enemy of
something
my
in-
enemy is my friend type of situation.
You have something in common with spiders.
And so then I started saving them.
Okay.
So now, like, I'll find a spider in my bathtub and I'll be like, oh, okay, I help
You'll
it.
pick it up and
I'll help it out.
send it outside.
Yeah.
The rule with spiders in this house, inside, your life is kind of forfeit unless Andy is here to carry you out.
Yeah.
Or you're a black widow, in or out, you're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead to me. I'm so sorry.
There's black widows over in here in Van Nuys.
Yeah, we have hundreds of black widows.
Really?
Yes. One walked in that door.
I thought a brown recluse.
Oh, brown
That's what I was
recluse.
thinking.
Have not seen one of those.
Okay.
I've recently.
But black
have
widows
seen,
are they will kill
bite you
or something?
No, they will not kill you. But if you have to be already super weak as a giant human and a tiny black widow.
Yeah.
But they can make you ill. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be bit by anything.
Right.
So mosquitoes die, black widows die. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, mosquitoes die. You're from
The Midwest.
Midwest,
Yeah.
so a mosquito for me is like I can like really.
You are, there's plenty of you at this
I'm
juncture.
really good at killing
And,
mosquitoes.
Yeah, I'm really good at mosquitoes. But I used to have a huge terror of spiders. And I think I might have told this story before. Settle in, Rangers, because here it goes. Here's how sometimes I have these dreams that mean things. Mm-hmm. It's never a mystery what they mean. There's I am enormously literal. So I had a dream, and I think it was in this house. Maybe not. No, I think it was in my old apartment. So spiders were raining from the sky. I used to have a recurring nightmare where spiders rained on top of me from the sky, and I was somehow trapped on a bed or on a table or something, and they would just fall on top of me, and it was horrible. Now, I remember having that dream. The last time I had that dream, I remember going, okay, it's just a dream. It's just a dream. Here's the deal. How about you don't land on me, you land on the floor, and I promise, and that's when I made the deal with them. If you are outside, you live. If you are inside, I'll try to get someone to take you outside.
Right.
But that's the deal. You can live if you don't land on me.
Right.
And they parted, like in the dream. They kind of like they split and went on the floor. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to sleep.
Wow.
And that was a very weird, what they call lucid dream that I've had.
Because it was a recurring.
And it was recurring, and then it ended. I haven't had
That's awesome.
And let us knock on wood that I've never had that dream again.
That's so cool.
Right. So I think the spiders were trying to talk to me going, what do you not want? How can we continue to exist in your life and you not scare the shit out of us?
They say, my therapist said that dreaming, you're just dealing with parts of yourself in your subconscious.
That makes sense.
So in a way, it's like, what part of yourself was this thing that you're scared of that you were like, all right, here's how we're going to deal with you.
Right.
You know?
Right. Just don't crawl on me.
Yeah.
And,
just don't crawl on me.
Yeah. That's all I'm looking for. Really. Almost everyone. Alice Wetterlund, it's been an hour, just so you know.
Okay.
And we can come back and talk about cats. Because here's the thing
It's been a minute.
Other people's dorkdoms. You have a different view of cats
I do.
than I believe it was Jake Weissman who came on and talked about cats.
Yeah, I definitely have a different view than him. Opposing. No, I'm just kidding.
Oppose. We're throwdown, you guys.
Crossfire.
Exactly. Rangers, you've done vital work by listening to The Dork Forest. Go find Alice Wetterlund on TV. What's the TV show again?
Resident Alien. It's not picked up yet, but it will be, I swear to Christ. And
swear to God it'll be picked up.
And then also my podcast, Treks in the City.
Yeah, Treks in the
Forever
City.
Dog Network. Jackie's been on it. She's going to be on it again.
Yeah, now that we're into a decent season. And it's Alice Wetterlund is Wetterlund. Thank you so much for doing the show.
Thanks for having me.
And Rangers, you know the rules out there.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?